The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good evening and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts Randy and Jackie right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board, send us an email. Our email address is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy and Jackie.
Hello, y'all.
Oh my gosh, what did I just do?
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful day out there. Lots and lots of snow, kind of reflecting on what our economy is like, kind of reflecting on what our political situation is like. I was watching just a bunch of different podcasts and stuff like that. And wow, the number of people that are talking about Donald Trump's the tariffs that he possibly wants to inflict on Canada is quite humorous. And it's just funny because I think I was one of the only people that said that 25% tariff is not happening. And everybody says, well, he already signed it. It's already happening and all this stuff. And I'm like, but it doesn't make sense. Okay, well, I guess I missed that. But I don't think so. That's not what he's trying to do. He's not trying to just throw a tariff on Canada. What he's trying to do is renegotiate things and get a better position for America. To me, it's just so damn obvious, and everybody else is doing all kinds of things. We got Prime Minister talking about tariff wars and all this stuff, which is certainly not needed. I will be the first one to say that I believe that Canada if we were to get into a tariff war, that Canada has a very, very, very strong position to hurt the United States, to actually really do some real damage. But the United States also has the ability to do the same. One of the things that I was listening to is 60% of our trades are done with the United States, which, just to put that in perspective, our GDP, gross domestic product, basically all the money floating around our economy, 40% of that is through our exports with the United States. So that's pretty huge. If we were to lose 40% GDP, that would not be a good thing for Canada. Supposedly, if he puts this 25% tariff on, definitely in Ontario, we'd be seeing a doubling of our unemployment. This is what they're saying. They're saying that this could be really, really bad for our economy. And the fear in which they are putting into everyone, it is all really doom and gloom. And I am sitting back, and you guys know, I don't mind being negative if that's what I see, but I don't see a negative here. I see what's going to happen. He's going to come up with some pretty good negotiation things, and we're not going to have it as juicy as we did before. But hopefully our government is going to wake up and they're going to say, hey, listen, why aren't we doing international pipelines? Why aren't we trying to trade with other countries? Why are we pretending that we're holier than thou with our environmental issues, forgetting the fact that we are just one part of the earth? And there are many other countries. So I don't care how clean you become. You can become the cleanest, just like California, and have blackouts all the time. And we're living in blackouts and all this stuff. You can go as far as you want. The rest of the planet is not following suit. And so the thing is, it's going nowhere. You're trying to change the way in which we heat our homes when this is the most efficient way to heat our homes. So you're blocking the gas, making it more expensive, making the transportation of it more expensive. All these things so that you can feel like you are some kind of saint saving Canada and saving the world. I don't really believe that. So if we got a government that would actually think differently, now is the time. We don't need to be 100% dependent on the United States, or 60% in this case. We can still do everything with the United States, but why not build other arteries? What's the reason that you don't want to do that? I mean, it's absolutely insane. And then you get a situation like this, and then you start panicking. You talk about war and all this stuff, but you're the one with your policies that's actually weakening Canada's stance. Like, to me, it makes no sense. We shut down the pipeline. We don't want to use our gift that God has given, the oil sands. We don't want to do these things because they're too easy, is it? So you're going to try to find new stuff that we're going to sell, like maybe air. I don't know. We're going to have the healthiest air, and then we'll try to sell that to someone. I'm not sure where they're going here, but I did hear this. One of the major problems that we had is that in terms of terrorists entering into the United States, there have been 350 terrorists on the terrorist hit list for Canada going into the United States that they found in the last little bit, and then 150 on the Mexico border. So we've actually got more terrorists coming across going into the United States than Mexico, but Mexico is the big problem. That is the real reason why Donald Trump is all up in arms, and the rest of it is, I think, a little bit of just showing Justin Trudeau that he doesn't really appreciate the things that he did before. And he knows that Justin Trudeau is kind of like a left-wing, enabler. And Trump has come out swinging this time. He's certainly saying how much he does not like those things, and he's winding them all back. As much as part of it seems rough, I think it was needed. The world's getting too damn confusing. We don't know what bathrooms to use. There's just so much that the world's got confusing. You know what? Simplify. Go back to the infrastructure that we have. I think that we're all loving individuals. We don't care if you're whatever, all the different letters of the LGBTQ and all the rest, whatever it is. I don't think anybody cares.
Who's we?
Us Canadians.
You need to speak for yourself.
Us Canadians. Well, maybe you care, but we don't care. That's who you are. I don't think any one of you in the audience care which one of the LGBTQ letters I am. I don't think any of you care.
No, but if they had someone in their family that fit into that society or whatever you want to call it, that
we all fit into it.
Then they would care more.
We all fit into it, Jack. You fit into it. I fit into it. Everybody fits into it. It's just that for us, we're heterosexual, but we're still in that array. I don't think anybody out there cares which
so then
level
if we're
that
in that
we're
array,
on.
Why isn't everybody have the same treatment?
What do you mean have the? What
Why are
do you
they
mean?
fighting for, like they had to fight for marriage? If we're all in that,
Well,
why
because
then, so it's on. Then it's not really, the scales are not equal.
Well, quite personally, my personal opinion, I don't even know why you would fight for the marriage status. It's absolutely insane. Like, okay, we've been together quite some time, but if you get divorced, that marriage status just ruins you. So I'm not actually sure why they care about that personally. I think it's just to be able to be part of whatever other people have. But actually, to be honest with you, in my opinion, it's better to get together, form your union, go off, do your things, and not be married, personally, because then when you decide to leave, you can make all your rules and you don't have all this legal stuff that you have to deal with. Because it's a huge legal issue, and why I'm not quite sure. And so, me personally, I don't think that was such a great win for anyone. However, because we're married, that may seem a little bit.
I tell you all the time, you should have been single.
Oh yeah. But that's just my opinion. I just the whole divorce, and I just think of the
Well,
millions
that's all
and
I
millions of
stepped in
dollars
to
that
say
people.
was that's your opinion, not we.
Well, I
So
think
you need to say I.
When I say we, I actually
I don't think
believe
anybody wants
I
to
actually
be
believe
spoken
that I'm
for.
speaking for almost everyone who doesn't care. I don't
But
care
what do
when
you
I
mean
meet
you
someone.
don't care?
when
What
I-
is this I don't care
Okay,
mean?
here. When I meet somebody, I don't care if they're an L. I don't care if they're a G. I don't care if they're a B. I don't care if they're any of the other letters. I don't care. What is it that we have in common? What is it that we're going to talk about? Because that's not going to be what we're talking about. We're into real estate. So if you're talking about real estate, great. But if you're talking about that and pronouns and all this stuff, then that's ridiculous. And I don't
know.
care.
Don't let
and I don't
religion
want to
run
see
the
it.
world, because religion is the cause of most wars out there. Religion's got a hand in this again. Anyways,
Early wars are all religious wars.
There
I'll agree
still
with
are
that.
some of them too, okay? So religion plays a huge part, and it doesn't play a huge part in peace. That's my
Yeah,
thing.
it does. It does play a very huge part in peace.
It's
sweetheart.
so
They have a lot of
divided. It's
peacekeeping.
so divided.
It is very divided. I'd agree.
Okay, and
but they do
everybody
play a part
and
in
everybody
peace.
is opinionated and push their opinions on other people, and I don't.
Everybody
agree
does that.
With that.
But you do it all the
I
time.
don't. I say my opinion, how
Well, that's
I
your
feel.
opinion.
I never say we.
Well, that's their
I don't
opinion.
use those words we because I don't speak for other people, because I don't believe I have the right to speak for other people.
Well, that's unfortunate, because there are other people, like out of our, last we knew was 10,000, and it's been on for a while, so it should be much more than that. But there was at least one or two people that agreed with you, so you are speaking for some people.
No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
speaking
there's
for
at least
myself.
2 or
I'm
3 out
speaking
of the
for
10,000.
myself. Anyways, Carl sent us an email, and it says, "Hey, I am Canadian, and I say Vive le Trump."
Viva la Trump?
And Mary wrote in, and she said, "Nope, Canada would not hurt the U.S."
Canada could hurt the U.S., Mary. Hold on, let me tell you how, okay? First of all, our oil sands are very special, and the United States needs this special oil, okay? If they don't get it from us, the only other place they can get it from is Venezuela, and they don't like Venezuela, and it'll be more expensive for them to get. So that's one. 2 is our energy. As a matter of fact, if we turned off the energy to the United States, do you know that the Trump Tower, that Donald Trump would not be able to take the elevator up to his apartment? He would need a candle so that he could actually see
Trump's going
to
where?
go to his apartment, his
In the-
home.
in the US?
Yes,
If
that's right.
Canada
In
cut
New
the
York,
power.
yes. In New York Trump Tower.
I don't know. That's why I'm
I'm
asking
just
you
saying,
to clarify.
that's it. So you turn it off only when you know that Donald Trump, you plan this. You got the reporters there. You know Donald Trump's in the elevator, and we call Doug Ford, say, Doug Ford, cut the energy now, cut it, and Trump's stuck in the elevator. Okay, so the thing is that, and then all of the people in New York are not too happy because they don't got energy. They can't see either. So we do have some really powerful stuff, and this isn't stuff like here in Canada. Oh, we can't now buy American rum, or we can't buy that. That's a commodity. That's on the shelf. This stuff is needed. The oil is needed by the Americans, and the electricity is needed by the Americans. So we do have a great stance. I'm not saying I want for us to even think about doing anything like that. But I'm just saying we are not just like can sit back like victims here. We actually have a very powerful ability to harm the United States, and they have an ability to harm us. So, and that's all I'm saying there. So for a prime minister to get up there and to negotiate, they have a good, strong position to negotiate from. Now, we do some things that aren't really fair, and we're not going to like the turnout of it, especially when it comes
That's what
to
next question I was going to ask.
especially
So
when
what's
it-
the retaliation?
So especially when it comes to farm
What are we
milk
eating?
and stuff like that, we are cheating. We are giving our farmers money and all that stuff to help to reduce their costs, so that our milk and stuff like that in the States becomes cheaper, and that's cheating, right? And then we're tariffing their dairy and stuff really heavy, so that protecting our dairy market here. Now, those kind of things is the kind of things that you want to eliminate. And unfortunately, if you're in the dairy business, be prepared, because this is one of the things that are going to come down the pipeline. Don't be blindsided by it. We got away with it in the last round. I don't believe we're going to get away with it in this round. There's got to be some sort of leveling, and I agree with him in certain things. I actually would like to see it go one step further. I actually would like to see some sort of economic union with the United States. I would love it. I would love our taxes to be the same as theirs. That would cut our taxes in half. I would love for our price of goods and all that stuff to be the same as it is in the United States. It's much cheaper. That's why many people drive to go across the border to go do shopping. And I would love for our dollar to be the American dollar on par with them, because our dollar would be a lot stronger. So yes, I would like these things, but I understand that may be tearing a little bit at the fabric of Canada, but it would be strengthening Canada. So I'm not afraid of entering into some new things, and and thinking a little bit outside of the box. And I'm not afraid of the things it is that he's presenting. And I kind of get why he's doing what he's doing, because he's fighting for the American people. And I just hope that many countries can learn from this, and we can start getting back to stop squandering our tax money and pretending that you're holier than thou and sending it to some country to go and do something when we got big problems here. Solve our problems, become the world beacon saint of a prime minister, and then go and give to others. And I think, quite frankly, our prime minister should be rated something like this. You get, I don't know what the income is, 400,000, whatever it is that you get for your salary. The more money you give away to other countries, your salary percentage also goes with it. So I know Donald Trump's given up all of his, but that might help them to think a little bit more. Well, hold on, I don't want to send 30% of the money abroad, because I'm going to lose 30% of my income. And they should also lose 30% of their pension to go abroad as well, because they really believe in what they're doing. So they should have to pay. They can do this without any consequences, and there should be. And I think, actually, by watching and seeing what's going on in the States, it is fraud. When you're taking all of this money and doing programs that nobody's voted on or nobody would vote for, you couldn't get America to vote for half of these programs that they're throwing out there, and you're going and throwing that money away, you should have to have some accountability behind it. That's all I got to say, babes.
That was a long 20 minutes.
Was that 20?
Yeah. Hi.
You okay?
No.
You look like
I'm
you're
just bugging
throwing
you.
up there.
I'm bugging you.
You sure?
It was like you started. I said hi and you went like a storm.
I was ready, babes. I was ready.
Yeah, it
ready
looks
because
like you did a ton of research for the politics.
well, you know, the trade, the tariffs thing is big. It's like hitting all the real estate channels. They're talking about how prices will come down and all this stuff. I actually, first of all, I don't even believe it's going to happen. I've already made that very, very clear. We're going to have other kinds of negotiations. If Trudeau wanted to right now, he could open up Parliament and we could start to to do things, but the reason why he wouldn't open up Parliament because he knows he's going to get a non-confidence vote, and that'll sit there in history. And so, if he does it this way, he doesn't have that negative, dog tag that he has to wear for the rest of his life. So he's not going to do that. So he's not going to help us to get over this hump. Oh well, no big surprise there. That's where it's at.
Okay.
What do you got to say? Got some more emails?
I want to say you can email us at yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com if you want to say something to Randy. Go ahead. Your home, your money.
What about
101.
to you?
I'm not talking. You're doing all the talking.
It's the fact that you're not saying anything speaks volumes.
Because it's politics.
No,
I don't really get involved in it. I don't listen to it 24/7 like you. I don't find it intriguing. I'm sorry. I don't find politics.
What do you find intriguing?
I don't know.
Cats, dogs, pimple popping, nails, hair. Well, what? Talk to us. Let us know. We want to know who you are. Yeah.
Well, I don't have the time to do any of the things I enjoy, so there you go.
Okay, what's that next email?
It's from Catherine, and Catherine says, wake up. Randy, even though there is, in fact, billions of dollars in trade between Canada and the U.S. is so resourceful. If goods from Canada stopped flowing in the U.S. economy would be hurt for just a few days. Most of Canada is not sustainable for business, manufacturing, etc. They are a tundra. Over 65% of Canada is non-livable. Canada better wake up.
I don't know what non-livable means. I wouldn't agree with that. We have Eskimos. Listen, we have Eskimos that live in non-livable places. Like, I don't know what you mean 65% of Canada is not livable. The problem with Canada is that we have a government, and this government doesn't just start at Justin Trudeau. It's all through our provincial government, our municipal government. The left-wing tree huggers have taken over. Like, they don't even care if we build homes. No, what's more important is the number of frogs that they have in a pond or whatever. In California, the smelt, they'll actually let an area burn rather than supply water to it so they can save the smelt. Like, let's get real. That's what and Canada thinks that's cool. And so does a big part of the world, and probably half of our audience. And it really is insane.
Why are they insane?
It's insane because you're putting bugs and lizards and frogs and trees over human beings.
I only care about what the future is going to be like when I'm gone for my children. So whatever is the best route, because I'm 55 and you know what? I'm out of here in a few years, so I'm more worried about what's going to make the world a better place for my children and my grandchildren.
Well, certainly turning everything electric is not going to be better for your children.
I'm not talking
no,
about
I'm just
any
saying,
of that.
but that's the direction of our governments.
And that's not what you were talking about.
Well, it's part of it.
But I'm
Bugs
just
and
saying,
lizards.
like, to me, that's where I am. Whatever is going to make life a little easier for my kids when they go out in the world, that's what I care about.
For the people out there that are 55 and over, 60 and over, you remember when the world, we all had electricity. Our homes were run on electricity. We couldn't wait to get off that. It was crazy expensive. So what did we do? We looked for other ways. So then what we do, if we couldn't bring gas there, then we had propane, anything but electricity. And somehow our brilliant government has decided to hurl us back to the ice ages, thinking that this is this great solution. I mean, I can't even think of how insane this is that our brightest minds, the people running the world, forget about history or reframe history and now is hurling us in a direction that doesn't even make sense. So you're closing down oil fields, all that stuff. So now oil, there's less of it, so it becomes more expensive. So all of our costs. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around it. I think if the government, if we have people who want to build electric cars and they want to build electric stations, let them do it. Don't get involved. It should be none of your business. It's the private sector. They're going to make the money along afterwards. You're not going to make nothing from it. You're going to be giving money, our money, and then afterwards they're going to make money from it. You're going to give it away. And so the thing is, stay out of it. Just stay out of it. The private sector is going to figure it all out. Because in the private sector, it's all about what are the costs. Because then they got to turn around and sell it to us. So we're going to be basing the difference of the gas versus the difference of the electricity, and we're going to make our choices. And if they've done a really good job and brought down costs, then we'll use them. If not, there's no need. There's no need for all this high rising prices all over the place because you want to have this mandate that you are pretending that you are so holier than thou that you're solving climate change when not one person on their committees can solve anything about climate change. Nothing. But meanwhile, they're pretending that it's all about climate change. And in the meantime, you are ruining it for, like my wife says, our children. You're ruining it for them right now, and you're ruining for them in the future. And I just think it needs to stop. We need to be in charge of our government. As people, we need to be in charge of our government. The problem we have right now is our government is in charge of us. And that's why they're able to do all this silliness. And now the United States has led the way to show us that it doesn't have to be like that. And so now, hopefully, we're going to get better and smarter people in politics. And we will start to take back, start to expose. I love the fact that all government spending would go on a blockchain. And we'd be able to go and everybody be able to see every penny. If a penny goes missing, you know exactly where it went missing. I would love that instead of this hide behind the scenes and we're missing hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars. It doesn't matter. It's just, oh, it's just gone. We don't know where it is. So sorry. This is all crap. And I don't even know how we can't even just fire everyone when these things happen. Because it's a corrupt system. And everybody says, oh, government's corrupt, but we're all living with it. This is ridiculous. And now, I honestly believe that it all has a chance of changing now. It all has a chance, because we're starting to see what real transparency is like. And let's hope that it continues. And we can bring, let's say, like a blockchain to see everything, because a blockchain records everything. Everybody gets eyes to it. There's no secrets. So, and we don't want the secrets anymore. And no, government, you're not smarter than us. We saw that through COVID, what you did in COVID. Yeah. Okay, babes. What you got a long email there. What's up?
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Take some breathers now. Once again, you can email us at yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. We are also on YouTube on Your Team Pros with an S. You can check us out on YouTube, and you can go in there and subscribe to us. Yay! Anyways, we got an email from Tina that says tariffs. There are a lot of terrorists and drugs coming into the U.S. from Canada, as well as coming in from Mexico. But for decades, Canada has been a little bit soft on immigration, and a lot of bad people are coming into Canada and working their way into the U.S. If Canada would do a bit more in security at the border, no tariffs would be on them. Trump has said that numerous times, which is true. I don't understand why they don't want to protect the border, why he wants to let all of these people in that are just coming in and hurting the citizens. I don't get it. But anyways, that's just me. So Katie says, hello. Trump said in an interview with the New York Times that he was not anti-gay, etc. What he is not into was that the left was throwing that mantra down American people's throats. He had stated that if you're gay, etc., you're gay. Live your life, but enough with the bathroom stuff and sporting stuff, the gender pronouns. He has over 27 folks that have come out as gay in his cabinet. Trump has no issue with that, but he will not stand for them promoting their lifestyle. He told them to just live your life and do your jobs.
What's wrong with that?
I never said anything was wrong with it.
But that's...
I don't think anything is wrong with it. I just said if that's the case, then let them have the same rights as we have. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean by the same rights?
Anyways, I'm not going to get you going with this, okay?
I don't even know what you mean by
Sherry,
that. Of course they have the same
Sherry
rights.
says wrong. There's Randy's spelling in his video data again. Again, watching too many videos online and believing it. The U.S. will not be affected by Canada's oil, gas, or electricity. You are wrong.
Okay, we'll see. If it goes that route, we'll see. But I totally disagree with that. And our previous prime ministers also disagree with that. They think that that's our strongest point. So that's their point of view. And they actually find it quite humorous that Donald Trump is making this proposal because he would not enjoy it. He's got you all brainwashed to believe that, oh, it would be real easy. It wouldn't be easy. It would be bad for both countries. And it wouldn't be bad for all of America, but the parts of America that it would be bad for would be devastating for them. So anyways, that's a whole different thing. I don't believe we're ever going to go there, ever. I think it would be wrong for us to even want to do that. They are our closest trading partner. What we should do here is just wrap it up, make things fair, bring back stability and confidence to the Canadian consumers and the American consumers as well. Do our deal, and then we need a progressive government that will look at actually expanding our trades internationally so that we are no longer creating an environment that is 100% or 60% dependent on the United States. There's no need for that. And not only that, let's just pretend for a second that we keep our 60% involvement in the United States, but we still go and we expand. We create that infrastructure for more expansion. We could even be doing more and more trade, making our country more profitable. So it only makes sense to go down this road. Any other road is absolutely insane. So says it, Randy.
Howard, hey folks. Wrong again, Randy.
Yep.
The U.S. has resources beyond what you know for power. If Canada wanted to play that game, Canada gets 75% of the fresh fruit and vegetables from the U.S. in imports. The Canadian people would starve. Most of the fresh fruit and veggies come from the U.S. since they have a year-round growing season.
Okay, I'm going to agree with that. However, fresh fruits is not going to make us starve, okay? Just to let you know, being a Canadian, yes, we do eat them, not as much as you think.
Okay, Jim says, hey, hello, you're home. So Eskimos are going to produce cars, oil, medical supplies, food, etc. Randy, wake up. Most of Canada is igloos and polar bears. Learn your geography. Most of the southern part of Canada is livable, not the rest.
Okay, so when you say cars, we'll just buy cars from the States. Why not? They'll be making them so cheap. Who cares? Those things aren't personal for me. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump wants to bring back manufacturing to the United States. Why fight him? That's what I have to say. Why aren't we doing more for our manufacturing? Why are we making the rules so difficult so businesses have to leave Canada? We should also do the same thing. Because guess what? Here in Canada, we need goods. And if America is going to sell them to us at some crazy price, or they're not being, they don't want to play ball, which I don't believe is the case at all. But if they didn't, then let's start investing in ourselves. You know, there was a time when we were invested in ourselves, and we went into this free trade, which isn't a free trade anymore, and you know, we were fine, and we'll be fine. But I do agree that it would be much better if we unite together and we were strong together, and then after we do that, that Canada begins to invest in being able to be a stronger force in the international marketplace, rather than condensing us and making us 100% dependent or 60% dependent on the United States.
Okay, so we got an email from Andrew, and he's oil. Canada can keep all of the oil and fracking. The oil sands that they want. They have no refineries. 19 in the entire country. The U.S. has over 130. If Canada stopped the flow of anything, the oil, etc., they would be just stocking it up in barrels and hurting the environment, according to the libs. They have to give it to the U.S., so that's not going to happen.
So I 100% agree with your comment there. I 100% agree with that.
So Gloria says news. Any real estate news
Yeah,
tonight?
let's do it. 7.9%. Sales are down 7.9%. So we're going to call that 8%. So well, actually, you know what? Just for whatever, we're going to call it 10%, just to keep it nice and easy. Because once you get into the weeds numbers, it's not making sense. But sales are down 10%, okay? But inventory is up 70%.
I don't know if you should round it. Like it does.
Why?
Because
7.9% it's down, and 70.2% inventory is up.
Okay.
But I think it's much easier that we're down 10% and up 70%.
But we're not. Those aren't
7.9. All right.
That's 8, not
All
10.
right, all right, Linda.
7.9 is 8. It's
Yeah, I
not
understand.
9.9.
Well, I understand, but I was just rounding it.
Okay, well, I don't think you can round those figures.
Well, I just did. 7.9%. So we're down 8% in sales, in total number of units sold. But our inventory has skyrocketed. And guess what? It's going up even faster. This is January. This is not an inventory month. This is a month of low inventory, but meanwhile, our inventory is up 70%. So what's going to happen throughout the spring? I believe it's going to get worse. I believe our inventory numbers are going to go through the roof. If you were to look at the number of inventory, we're talking about 17,157. I would call that 17,000. I might even call it 15,000, but I might get fact-checked from the wife, so I got to be careful. But the number of sales was only 4,000. Well, it's 3,847.
That's not 4,000.
So that's not 3,000. So basically, we're looking at 1 in 4 to 1 in 5. So we'll do 1 in 4 because it's not quite 1 in 5.
Okay.
I believe. Anyways, 3,847 times 5. 3,847 times 5. What is that?
3,847
7 times 5
times 5.
is 19. Yeah, so it's not.
It's 19,235.
Yeah, so that's where we're left. So if we do 17,157 divided by 3,847, we're looking at 4.45. So 4.45%, or 4.45 homes, sell for every home that doesn't sell. I mean, 4.45 homes don't sell for every home that sells. That's it. So basically, like I was saying before, 1 in 4 homes do not sell. Almost 1 in 4.5. I don't know how we get to 4.5.
Well, it's like they say the American dream, right? 2.5 kids.
2.5 kids. So I thought it was 1.5. But anyways,
isn't it 2.5?
So 1 in 4 homes are selling. So it's not an easy time out there. Average price is up though, and it's up 1.5%, which is interesting. But if you really jump into the numbers, I'm going to believe that what they're going to show you is that the percentage of detached homes versus the percentage of condominiums and townhouses more detached homes have sold. And why that's relevant is if the higher priced product is selling more of, it'll look like the average price has gone up, but really it hasn't. It's just there has been more sales in the higher priced product. So I don't believe the 1.5% average price increase has any real play in these numbers, other than that's the numbers that are recorded. New listings are up 48.
I was just going to say, yeah.
48.6% new listings. So
But that's a given.
Yep. Yeah, that is a
Right?
given if active
It's the
listings
middle
are
of
up 70.
February,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and so what we're going to see February, those numbers should kind of continue at that pace or go higher. Sales to new listing ratio is dropped down to 39.5 cents. So for 39.5%. So what we're for every new listing, for every sale with the new listing, it's actually 39.5%. What that means really is that it's more in favor of buyers. The marketplace has shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market when it comes to sales to new listing ratio trends. Active listings, we talked about that, 70%. Months of inventory is at 3.5%. So that indicator is still in the balanced range. So we're still having some inventory. We're still having some inventory situations where sellers still have a say, and so we're going to see that number climb. As a matter of fact, if you go and you just pull condos, you're going to see that number be at like 6 months of inventory. And so when that happens, that's 100% a buyer's market. The average sale to listing is actually pretty decent. It's at 99%. So it means homes are being priced pretty tight. And so there's certain areas that if you go into them, it's going to be a little harder to buy a home. For example, Ajax, you got 101%. Oshawa, you got 101%. Pickering got 100%. Whitby, you got 100%. So those, and let's say Clarington's at 100%. So those areas, it's a little harder for the buyers to negotiate a discount on their property. But other areas that have lower, so for example, here's one, King. King is at 94%. So you can expect, and they've got a pretty decent average price. Their average price is almost 2 million, 1.8 million. So if you're getting like a 6% discount, that's quite substantial that you can negotiate on the price. But if you were in King City, for example, and you were looking to buy a home there and that didn't work out for whatever reason, and then you found a home in, let's say, Whitby, with the size and everything similar type home that you wanted to negotiate the same 6%, you wouldn't be able to, because Whitby is a much tighter marketplace and you really don't have a lot of negotiation room there. The Hilton region's having quite a bit of negotiations. We're seeing in Peel region as well. And in Toronto, it's holding tight in the east end of Toronto. It's at 102%, which is very, very strong. But if you go into Central, it's at 98%. So you got about a 2% discount there on average, and 99% in the west part of Toronto, where you don't have a lot of negotiation room, but there's a little bit. So each marketplace comes with its own market pressures. And so understanding them and knowing them will help you to better navigate the environment. And overall, it's a confusing marketplace overall. To be honest, it's, when you can go from 94%, so getting a 6% discount, to going somewhere else and having to pay an extra 2% over the market. And those are pretty drastic swings. Oh, that's an 8% swing. That's massive in terms of negotiation. So you don't want to take one principle into all of the neighborhoods, that they are different. The days on market, again, it varies in different places. Like if you go to Scugog, it's like 77 days on average. So and you go to Bradford, it's like 64 days. You go on average on the market, it's 55 days. And if we look into the Toronto area, it's in and around there. Central Toronto's taken the longest to sell. It's at 63 days, holding a lot of condos. So that's really changing the marketplace there. 54 days in the west and 50 days in the east on average. And then you look at King City, because their price point is so high, it's on average 102 days for their pricing for their properties, how long they're on the market. You got Ajax at 35 days, Brock at 38, Clarington at 44, Oshawa at 42. So Oshawa is one of the ones that are selling a little quicker than most of the regions right now. And that really has to do with price point. The average price point in Oshawa has dropped to $779,000, roughly speaking. And that price point is pretty attractive in the marketplace, and that's why you're seeing quicker sales than the rest of the marketplace. Then you got Pickering at 47 days, Scugog at 77, Uxbridge at 56, and Whitby at 53. So you're having slightly different pressures and environment in slightly different areas. And what you're going to find is, even when you break it down further and you start going into the different communities, you're going to see that some communities are very well guarded and very well in demand, and other communities not so much. So you're really going to want to break this down to area if you are getting in the marketplace to do something. Now, what's really happening, you have some email?
Just one. Go
okay,
finish.
so what's really happening in the marketplace? The marketplace is being segmented into three different, let's say, groups, and then Jackie will do this email, into three different groups, okay? The first is the area that's absolutely dead, and that's new home sales, okay? It's a dead marketplace. Anybody who bought homes a few years ago and they're trying to close on them now, they're having a heck of a time. As a matter of fact, right now it looks like the banks are trying to come up with a solution to solve this problem, which is going to cause other problems. So what's their solution? Let's pretend that the homes are worth that money and let these people be able to close them, rather than having all of these properties sitting vacant, because there's no way they can close on them, because they just don't have enough money to make up the gap in the loss of value of homes. And then what you would do is then you would hope that these people would actually maintain their mortgage and not lose it. Very, very risky business. I'm surprised that they're doing it, but they are trying to help the consumer. But I'm not sure if that is going to help anybody but the builders, to be honest. And then, so the next segment is that where all the inventory is piling up huge is the low-rise sector. So, I mean the high-rise sector. The high-rise sector is condominiums in towns and that. Towns aren't doing necessarily as bad as condominiums, but condominiums are really slow. They are selling, if they're priced right, and they're attractive and they've got a good look and a good value to them. In other words, value being that the person walking into that condominium thinks that this is the best looking condominium for their price point, then that's what they would consider value, and those properties will sell. Any other property, especially if it's a condominium, they're going to have a very, very hard time selling unless they're going to offer value to the buyers. And the last section, the low-rise section. The low-rise section is actually holding pretty strong, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
It is the one marketplace where
Affordable.
people can feel comfortable buying and selling in, without the fear of the future collapsing around them. And that's the market segmenting into different categories. Go ahead, hon.
Okay, so we have an email from Tim, and Tim says, in the news now, right now, the U.S. has made illegal immigration raids over the last few hours in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Denver, Miami, Atlanta, and several locations in Texas. CNN has reported that hundreds of the aliens are reported gang members and have entered the U.S. from Canada. Wake up, politicians of Canada. Get the drones out and stop it. Then no tariffs.
Yeah,
Got one from
I'm going to
Joe.
agree with that. But I would like to take that one step further. It would be really nice if ICE would come here and pick up all the criminals here too.
Don't you?
And send them home. I wish we could write something up and make that part of our next series of votes that ICE is allowed in Canada.
Okay. Joe says, better be careful. Yeah, the U.S. better be careful. Canada might stop their export of snow. Good one, Joe.
That's funny, Joe.
Ah, that was cute. Okay, so once again, our email is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And we are also live on YouTube. You can check it out now, check it out later. You can come on and subscribe to us, which will be great. So I had one little article that I thought was interesting, which I've talked a bit about. Oh my gosh. It's been a little bit of a subject with some of my clients. Some of them have bought homes in that area. They're actually starting to put the plans in motion for around the new Oshawa GO station. Mm-hmm. So they've taken the Oshawa Ritson School, it's called Development Project, and what they're doing is they're going to make it into residential affordable housing units. They bought the place for $7.5 million, the city of Oshawa. They're paying I better not round off, right? $2.95 million to contract out for someone to do a plan. Do you think you could have did a plan on a building for affordable housing for $3 million?
I'm not smart enough. I would have
But
charged them.
is it that much money?
I would have charged them $200.
Is it that much money, though, to get someone to plan out?
Depends who you do it. This is the government.
Wow,
When the
I
government
don't
does
know.
it, they hire someone
220 units.
who hires someone who hires someone who hired someone who hired someone, and they're already at $1 million, and they haven't got to someone who's going to do the plans yet.
Okay.
And then,
So, anyways, they're getting the plans done up now. They're saying that it's going to consist of 220 units that are affordable housing, and how they're going to come up with those prices is that they're going to take the median price of rental, and they're going to use that for the affordable units, and then the rest of them, which there's 660 altogether, so the 420 are going to be rent at market value rent. So that's what's going to be going on there, and they're saying that phase 1 should be opening in 2027, 2028, and the GO station terminal they're saying for 2030. So I don't know. I feel like if that happens, right now it's not such a nice little pocket of Oshawa down there by Olive and Ritson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a lot, but I think with all of this new development, if you go in and you look it up, what they planned there for some of the right around the GO, the new townhouses and condos and that, it's really nice, the plan that I saw previously what they were doing. But I think it will start to bring up that area. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're in there and you own a house in there, maybe hang on to it and see what's going to happen. It might be, might give you some more value in the future, because, I mean, people love to be around transit. If you can walk to the GO, oh my goodness, that's like That's like, look at what they spent in Pickering to do that bridge over the highway so people could walk across to the Go. People want to be able to walk there. So I think it's going to become valuable. I think it's going to bring up property values in that area. And
it'll help. It'll increase demand, and that's what.
yeah, I
as
think
soon
if
as
you
you get-
got something there, hang on to it and wait it out and see what's going to happen. That's what I think.
If you can.
Yeah, if you can. So, this is, Donna says, Jackie, hey, is this Jackie? When I was younger, I could watch 4 movies in one night. Now I need 4 nights to watch one movie. I'll be asleep in 20 minutes. Karen, I got to tell you, that is me. And if you were on YouTube watching me, I can't stop yawning, and I apologize. I do not think my husband's boring. That's a joke, sorry.
It shouldn't be a joke.
It was a joke. I don't, but I'm a little better than Randy, though. Probably takes Randy 3 weeks to get through a movie because he falls asleep as soon as the
Yeah.
boom, it starts, and Randy's like, okay, this is what's going to happen in the movie. I'm going to bed. I'm like, well, gee, thanks for telling me all about the movie.
It's
But-
just because it's just so obvious. It's just so damn obvious in the beginning of a movie what's actually going to happen in most movies, not all, but
There's some good movies
it's
out there
boring.
now, though.
There might be. I don't know.
On Netflix and
That's a
Prime.
few hours of my life that I'm not willing to.
I know, but
to
I
sell.
can't do you. I cannot work 24/7, and that's all I think about because that is you. All you do is think about work, 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 and anything around work, and anything outside of that, it's just irrelevant to you.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to get a life, man. You got to get a life.
I
You
do
got
have
to
a
watch
life.
some TV with your wife. No, I'm kidding.
I-
I'm totally okay watching by myself.
So what time? 8:26. We have like 2 minutes, really.
Yeah, so once again, guys,
I want to talk about.
you know what?
Certified home.
Actually, you know what I'm going to put this out there.
Talk about
People can
this.
email in. I was telling Randy that I think we should start possibly doing some little seminars to help people navigate the real estate, what's going on. It could be over Zoom, they could be however, but we're thinking about opening up some free time for us to do some meetings with people that really want to dig in and see what's going on out there and want to know possibly where their future in their real estate, what they have or want to do, where it could be going. I don't know.
Awesome. So
Is that
Jackie
kinda
wants
crazy?
to. No. You got to do what you believe in, sweetheart. I want to talk about right now, and I've only got 1 minute. I'll stretch it to 2. This program that we are putting on with all of our listings.
Oh, yeah,
Every single
amazing.
one of our listings come with a certified home certificate warranty. And what that is the certified home warranty protection program covers the home for 6 months with up to $15,000 worth of premium. So the buyers who buy the home, if something goes wrong with their fridge or their stove or their furnace or any of the appliances, I can list the list here, but it's a lot: heat pump, air conditioner, ductwork, central air conditioning system, water heater, fridge, stove, built-in microwave, all these things, garage door opener, garbage disposal, trash compactor, anything go wrong with any of those, they can be covered under this premium. So now they can go and buy this home with peace of mind. And we're doing that with every single home that we're
we
listing.
sell, and that actually makes your home
More
more
valuable.
valuable than any of the other homes like yours in the area.
Exactly, because
So
they can't do that.
we're constantly trying to find ways to bring more value to our listings. And we've been doing this for about a year, and actually it panned out for one client that actually had issues.
several, I can
No,
tell
but
you.
one person that actually
That
had
you're
issues
talking.
with something
Yeah,
recently.
Okay.
Okay, what are you trying to
No, it's 8:20. No,
Anyway,
I was just gonna.
2 minutes is not enough time to tell you what we do to sell homes.
So we'll do it next time.
I
That's
think we
okay.
should.
I think we should actually talk about this every time. It's a pretty good bonus, and
Yeah.
it is very rare out there in the industry. We also can do this for buyers who are buying a home through us. We can also warranty that home for them to help them to have a little bit of peace of mind. So that's something that we have put together. We had it for sellers. Now we have it for both sellers and buyers. We thank you very much for joining in. We're going to see you next week. This is Your Home, Your Money, and Our Lives on realityradio101.com. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy and Jackie, right here on Reality Radio 101.